episode, we have this session, conversation on automation of rubber molded parts manufacturing. Our invited guest is Mr. Yeaw, Managing Director of the Cooltech Industries, and he is also the President of the Malaysian Rubber Products Manufacturer Association. So he owns the company, and in this discussion, we'll be discussing with him how he has implemented automation, how important it is for him having an automation in his own molding factory. So let's get to today's session on the conversation on automation of rubber molded parts manufacturing with Mr. Yeaw. Hello, Mr. Yeaw. Welcome to the rubber industry conversation. Thank you for accepting the invitation. We are going to talk about the automation of rubber molded products manufacturing. So thank you very much for accepting our invitation today.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Peram. Thanks for inviting to join these conversations. Right, yes. I'm ready to share my company's experience how to move forward for the automation.
Right, I know you are the kind of pioneer in Malaysia, focusing a lot on the automizing your plant operation. So we talk about how your experience all about. For the benefit of the audience, let's give some introduction to your company. You have two companies, right? One is the Cooltech Industries, otherwise is First Rubber Associated First Rubber. Yeah. So can you can you talk about the both companies, what kind of product line what you guys manufacture?
Yeah. For Cooltech Industry, we are founded in year 1996. Mainly our business is aimed for Malaysian's OEM market. We are the OEM suppliers. And then for the associates, First Rubber is the Cooltech Industry joint venture together with First Rubber Thailand. Is my business partner, Mr. Jellins. We formed this company in year 2000s. Right. Mainly we are supplying rubber parts, motor part components, right, to local OEMs and also the overseas market, right. So mostly we are a venture in the manufacturing. We also is the wholesalers and distributing of the rubber compounds, master bears, and also all type of the rubber motors and the injections parts for our locals and overseas customers.
So your market is dominated by local market for you, or you have a significant in export market?
Yeah, majority of business is local. This especially is for local OEMs. Right. Like example, for our mostly for our national car. Cotton and blue. Right. Meanwhile, we also supplying to so-called the home appliances industry and also E&E industry, electronic and electrical. Because these three is the major sectors industry is Malaysia.
Right. Yeah. And you both companies are next to each other or located different locations, or?
We are in the same locations. So the operations production wise is different, but the maintenance team is the same. It's the maintenance teams. For this kind of arrangement, we have saved a lot of administrative costs because we only want so-called the management team here to run for two companies.
Right. I think a lot of reduction in the overheads. If you have two different locations, you have so much to add in the terms of the cost. Yeah.
It's like that. If the two locations, that means we need extra the expenditures in the maintenance size, even in the control.
Right.
So we gather together, easy for us to manage for the companies in one cost only.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a lot of savings together. Yes, so what kind of machine, what kind of a molding machinery, or what kind of equipment you use currently in your factory, like both plants? Yeah. let's talk about both plants now. It's at the same location, both associated First Rubber as well as the Cool Tech Industries.
For so-called molded and injections products.
Okay, hang on.
So,
excuse me. I lost your connection for a minute. Okay, so I will repeat the question. Okay, there is a.
Okay.
Yeah, we just repeat this. Hang a second. So I need to break. So give me a few seconds.
Can. Just now saw that there's a.
So let's talk about the machinery and the facilities you have. I know you have two companies are located in the same place, both associated First Rubber and also Cool Tech. So what kind of machinery you guys have currently use, or kind of molding machinery, or any additional or mixing mixing plant?
Yeah, for Cool Tech industry, mostly we are more focused in plastic injection parts mixed with the rubbers. So today we are talking about the rubber industries. So the associated First Rubber mainly is doing for rubber motor part and injection part. We have co-runners injection machines. This is the latest technology. We are and these runners right after the injections. This is very cost saving. We also have two so-called the injection machines. 11 numbers of two stations molding machines. We also have two auto visual inspections machine. This is what today we are talking about, automations. We have two numbers of visual measurements machines and 8 number of semi-auto deflection machines. Millimeters, tensile machines, and others lab equivalents. That is a common fibers, the rubbers manufacturers should be happen.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So you have quite a number of.
So our machine list is not with the longer list.
Well, it's a significant number, but it's so when you started thinking about, hey, I need to automate, what was you have implemented some projects on the in automation side. It's when you thought, hey, let's do the automation, at least some of the processes. So when it all started.
Yeah, this is a very good question to me. This is a very good experience there. We have overseas customer come to audit our production plants. When they come to the visual inspections, they saw that all our operators, they use magnifiers to check all the O-rings, right? This is a very common process, right? So they're asking me one question until I cannot be answers. They say that, hey, Mr. Yeaw, do you check your operators' eye size? How frequent are you checking? So for the question, I cannot answer because we didn't do it, right? After that, I sent all my operators to the optical shops to check eye size. 40% of them needs to wear the spec, the glasses. That means that the eye size not ladies can be performed for the whole day. So from there, I also received one group from the business partner from the Taiwan Rubber Associations. They come to visit to my factory. Then they also saw my process there. Hey, you say, Mr. Yeaw, in Taiwan, for this kind of inspection, it's all automated. Why you still use a manual? And you still lost a lot of so-called the labor costs, and then still it's very labor intensive in this process. So from there, I got the ideas. Then I must be moved forward. Cannot too depending to the so-called the operators, right? And before that, I also have a lot of quality issue because the eye size there is not ladies can be performed from the whole day, from morning until evening 5 o'clock, right? From 8 to 5. So the question from there is is our this overseas customer also encourage where we go for automate, and then there's a chances from the trip from the Taiwan Rubber and Customer Associations came to pay a visit. There is very good consultant to me and give me advice. So immediately there I get the contact for the vendors. Then immediately I go to Taiwan to get these auto inspections machines lah. So this is the reason how I.
So it's your customer questions you and how you about your quality control, and you look at the labor intensive work. Then they give you suggestions also from the Taiwan. It's good that you let the people to invite visit your plant.
Yeah. Actually, for me, I very welcome whoever's the industry players want to visit my factory. I'm welcome to them. Always I will tell them the good thing don't tell me. Better you tell me the bad things, because we are used to it. Sometimes we cannot realize this area we need to be improved, or this area we can do more better, right? So this is a free consultant to me. I don't need to hire the consultant,
Right.
So I always welcome one. There is no any secrets in the productions.
Most of the processes are similar anyway, so all the warnings and all the so and so you immediately invested on that visual inspection machine, and how much it costed you?
That machine cost me about in Malaysian ringgit is about 250,000 machines. That is a very advanced technology of machines. They use the opticals, right? Totally for the machine, they have 4 optical lens to check, right? So it's very precision. And then this machine also can be keep all the record. From there, we will minimize all our so-called the quality issue. And then from there, we also can collect all the big data. From there, we can do all the studies, how to do improvements on all the so-called the reject, where is the areas to reject, and then we're going to do all the study and then do the quality actions, right? So immediately we can see all the result there.
And so how many people got lost job in terms of reducing the manpower by replacing with the, I think it's advantageous for the Malaysian companies because you have a huge labor shortage. So it definitely helps a lot, right? So what is the rate of we call return?
Yeah, this is, everybody will say that after even our staff also worry about that. When we invest in automation, they mean they're going to lose a job. No, this is not. We can be relocation them to do other things to contribute more, right? To generate more revenues to the companies. From there, we reduce a lot of so-called the loss, the hidden loss we are not aware, right? But the machine can help us to detect. Because sometimes our eyesight cannot be detected one, but machine can be detected. So this also if we improve our qualities, right? We improve our qualities, and then our customer also be happy, You see that we compare with machine 100% to kill the product, compared with the manual. Mostly the customer they're ready to trust about the machine. It's not the humans, right? So this is the advantage From there, we are ready to get the bulk orders from our customer. Before that, my manager always said, "Hey, boss, you got a new project. I need to get addition 10 manpowers." I said, "How come you increase the manpower? That may increase my expenditures. Even I get more business, I have more headache." I need to look more so-called laborers, right? So this not. So from today's, I reduce almost about for the so-called machine inspections departments. I reduce almost 40% of the manforce. This is a lot of savings, to invest that. especially during this pandemic, COVID times, during the lockdown time. Luckily, we got this machine. We cannot fulfill during the time we are already shortage of manpowers. Most foreign workers, when their contract is expired, they are not really want to extend. They also worry they want to go back. So so luckily we have this machine. So our business is running as a normal.
So so it's a good timing for you during the COVID. You have this machine and saved a lot of money, as well as also the wastage that defects as well that you
not only saving the so-called the business is running as usual and luckily So I think that you know that during this pandemic, a lot of manufacturers are facing problems, the lockdown, factory to close, right? So this is really impact to them. That's why the move forward to this automations or IR 4.0 is very important, because this really help a lot. We are not really too depending to the laborers, especially that our industry is really too depending, labor intensive. We need to move forward
So I'd like to imply that when you do implementation of automation, it does not mean actually that reducing the manpower. It's actually you can always relocate them to the other processes, and but you can produce more jobs can be done and more productive. And a lot of times people think, oh, you're automating, oh, okay, many people are losing jobs. Not exactly all the time like that, right?
Not exactly, because using this machine, they cut down their workforce. They not under the tension every day. If already got any so-called the reject or complaining from the customer, they do a lot of the so-called the documents, the collective actions, meetings and go for the sorting So from there, they don't have a time to do extra work, right? Or cannot be performed. So from there, we reduce all this kind of reject, right? Those days is about 50 to 20% now, cut down below 3%. From there, we can see a lot. The hidden cost, we turn it as a extra profit, right? So from there, I can be returned to them. I'm saying that you do a lot of reject, then all the reject part we're going to throw in, or we pay for the suppliers. Why not? We keep this saving, this extra income, and turn it become to your benefit, right? So they were happy, right?
I think it's good, it's like they get more income, more bonus at the end of the year when the company is making more profit margins, right? So
So I can be proud to say that during this pandemic, COVID, right, I can be give them the bonus. I can increase their salary as well. So they'll be happy. Then one of my engineers are asking me, hey, boss, how can you do that? I said, this is a saving. However, the saving, that is your benefit. They say that compared to other industry, or lately the company to cut pay, can don't have any bonus, right? So I'm saying that you need to join the right company, need to perform, right? Take well of a company's product. They mean that is become extra benefit to them.
Right, true. So when you you talk about that visual inspection of the parts, final processing side. Have you done any automation on the molding side? On the molding machines, or any semi-automation or anything you're working on it at this moment?
Just now I mentioned that I got about 8 numbers of the semi-detaching machines.
Right.
Today I still in Malaysia. I talk about Malaysia. There are a lot. They are not ready to invest this semi. Even you cannot go full auto because semi-auto. Actually, this will be help a lot, right? The process. For me, those days we need to outsource for trainings, or we need to hire more staff to do all the training job. When I invest this semi-detaching machine in my factory is 3rd generation. I keep improve long. I'm sure that the good ideas or good machines are going to invest. Now in my factory is 3rd generation of detaching machine. From there, during allocate all these dispatching machine beside the moldings. So after the moldings, the same operators their linings are 2 stations plus the dispatchings. Right? From there, we increase all the productivity, and then we can be cut down all the so-called the expenditures or the labor costs. Right? So meanwhile, immediate they do the dispatching, there can be also from there can be check the quality there. So immediate there can be improved in the process. That's very important. That's why I'm saying a lot of rubbers manufacturers they're still very traditional. They're not really keen to involve to invest. Some definitely we invest in this automation or dispatching machines. There definitely we need to upgrade our more the toolings, right, to suit to the machine. Right. Some they say that my tooling is there. What more I want to change my tooling or whatever. But you don't want to improve it. You are still there. You are standing there, right? You are not going to move forward. So for me, I'm not invest in the machine, but I also invest the new toolings, right? The more advanced technologies or more precision toolings, then you can suit for the automations. Usually, your trimmings, cutting line is too thick. Even you use a man or use machine also not maybe efficient, right? This is the thing. I mean, say that whatever there is the supply chain, the whole production lines, not only the machine. So in our process line, we also need to upgrade to suit, right? Become one so-called the perfect, line to automate it or semi-auto.
So what kind of deflashing machines you use? Is it cryogenic or what kind of you use a semi-automated deflashing, right? So can you talk about probably the advising others to what brand or processes here? Getting more.
You see, that's why I'm saying that we need more exposure. We need to attend a lot of expo or exhibitions. Then you can see that there's the machines makers, they have the ideas. From there, we can work out with our vendor or our machines suppliers to modify it to suit our industry. As you know, there are a lot of machines makers. They are not really know about our production process, know how to suit our production, right? So then we need to have a more communication with them to give the ideas to modify. That's why sometimes I say that the machine we can go to third generation or fifth generations. We need to day by day to upgrade it. Let them to more understanding our rubber industry, because our rubber is more elastic. So it's not easy to handle. Right? So this is the thing. So from there, I always to attend a lot of exhibitions or expo. From there, you can get a lot of informations, right? So from there, you can work out with them, or some there's a ready-made. I'm saying there's a ready-made one, but the thing that just now I mentioned that we should be upgrade our production line or maybe our tooling to match it. If not ready, you get the expensive machine, then also they cannot be performed because the basics requirements is not ready to can be matching. I'm say that right.
I think the machinery, you need to, you rightly mentioned about working with the machinery suppliers and make the existing machines to upgrade, or because you can't totally replace in the old machines or totally buy the new machine all the time, but because many of the rubber companies, I think some of the machines maybe 20-30 years old still running, right?
Yeah, still running, never change.
But they say that it's working all right, it's working all right. So, but it's important that to work with the equipment suppliers or the technology suppliers to upgrade it, to suit your existing facilities. Right. So,
that is very important on that. We need to closely, especially the top management, need to closely to involve on this automations project, because we know our industry. We need to give the so-called our experience sharing to the machine makers. how to going to improve it or how going to fine tuning to suit our product. Because you know that our rubber product are not ladies can be standardized in one machine one. Even the tooling also, right? We have a two-bed molding, injection molding, even the transfer molding, right? So depend to your technology, then how going to suit it, right? That's why this will take time lah. That's I must say that the so-called the top management, the commitment is very important. It's not say you got the funding, you got the money, you pay for the supplier, then they can deliver the automation machine to you, and then suit to your production or your product, right?
Yeah. So, are you planning for any new machines in the near future?
Actually, I planning to do so-called auto molding.
Okay.
Auto molding. I already communicate with my counterpart suppliers there. The only way is that because now the pandemic is not really over, so I will delay my project lah. Because this I need to quite frequent to travel over there, right? To have a communication with them, you know, how to do the improvements or how to do the fine tuning. It's not the custom-made product. This is a custom-made product, not the standard machine. Right. So sometimes these automations for our industry, you know, you say use for 30 years, 50 years also you can use the machine, still can run the production. But the thing that is not efficient, still very depending of the labors. So in terms we invest in this automation, I think we can cut a lot and then improve our product qualities. Right?
And you do your own, you know, you have your mold shop, your own mold shop, your CNC or anything that you do, or you outsource your molds?
I also have a tooling departments. Mostly for that one is for the maintenance, for maintenance upgrade because the tooling need the maintenance. I also have a so-called long-term business partners for the tooling shop. From there, we keep upgrading our existing toolings to be the latest performance, or technology for the molding process right? That's why I'm saying that I ready to fund the monies or fundings to improve all the process. That's why my machine, even my tooling, we have a first generation, second generation, keep upgrading. But I feel that a lot of the rubber manufacturers, they only want tooling until the more is damaged, also still continue running, but it's not really efficient, because that is reject or we need to do, especially that our molding process for second process trimmings actually is very costly.
Yeah. Because if you don't do well, you get a lot of waste, and it's money is
it's a lot of waste, a lot of reject, and then you need a lot of time to trimming,
Right.
The trimming, even my tooling, I think during the September, the highlights, I show my tooling there, my rubber sheet for the O-links. One of my good friend, they also do this O-link products. The molding one, they saw my tooling, the sheet there. So it's so efficient. Even the 4 anchors and the centers, the thickness is the same. So then this high cavities is about 580 cavities. Then every pieces, the thickness control is the same.
Consistency.
So consistent. And then this the technology. So a lot the more they don't want to change, and then warping, then you cannot get a very good quality product because unstable of the materials.
So when you implemented this, changing the system in the automation side, how was the first reaction from your staff? Mr. Yeaw is spending money and getting something new, and okay, you explained to them later. How the reaction was? First reaction when they saw the new things happening.
The beginnings, they were really lost a job, right? After implement that, they're very thankful for the companies invest this, actually to help them to reduce their workforce. And then from the meanwhile that my engineer also be happy that they can be learn the new technologies, how to handle these automations. This one another new chapter for them. As a companies, we always to encourage our engineers, especially young engineers, to taking the courses.
Yeah.
So from every year, I never fails. I always send my engineers to attend these DPIMs.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a very good course, diploma courses, right, in Malaysia. So from them, they can get more knowledge, more get the more so-called the know-hows from all the lecturers. You know, all the lecturers is all our expertise.
Right.
Most of them is retired from the big company. So you can learn a lot from them.
Right.
So for this automation, they're happy, because they cut a lot of workforce there. So my factory managers, before that, every day they crack the head to come to factory, know how to settle the problems. Now he happy. Every day they come there with a very good mood, and then he can contribute a lot, and then he also can do a lot of things.
I think it improves the their health conditions also, the stress free. You don't need to worry too much, right? No mental stress, and how Mr. Yeaw is going to react with a lot of waste. Now it less waste, so their health conditions improved. Okay, and they can go home with relaxed mode. Yeah, job is done. No less problems. Okay, so that you cannot quantify it. Because that happiness, that health issue, the benefit, you're never able to quantify it, but that's a huge, it's not only the money company owner saves, but actually the benefit to the staff, their better health conditions, better, stress-free life. I think that's a huge benefit for them. Not only that the money they get a bonus or even perks increase, but yeah.
Yeah, not only the money, The ladies, they are happy to work in this kind of environment with the new technology, right? So the workforce is not maybe stressful. So like what you said, they're happy, then they're more healthy,
More
healthy,
yeah.
For them to claim for the MC also getting less,
Yeah. I think it's also it can be called corporate social responsibility also, because you're helping them, not just working, you're giving some money, but actually when they work, there's no effect on their health. A lot of times some of the companies, factories they work, their health conditions deteriorate after some time. Maybe so much difficult conditions they had to work, and impact in their life, on their personal life, and family, a lot of issues. But these all indirectly automation, will erase this kind of problems. I think minimize. I don't want to say erase totally, at least minimize significantly. Yeah. So yeah.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah. So you have a mixing plant of your own, or I understand that you mentioned you also.
I have a mixing plant. I got 3 mixers. One needles 55-liter ones.
Okay.
Right. So I also have so-called the auto cutting machines. It's very precision. From there, I also save a lot on the waste, right? Because this auto cutting machine, there is auto wedging for the materials. So this is very precision. As you know that we do the moldings, we need to have a precision cutting strip, right, to place it in the mold, and then the waste is very important. There's no short sword, there's no extra. Extra also got problem, right? Too thick, then we have a flashing, or we are very thicker to trimming, right? So this is a process. Every process we need to be take care on that. Just now I mentioned that every process we will increase, not only for automation inspection machine. So we are at this kind of auto cutting machine to get a very standard precisions, weight and the sizes to moldings. And then after the molding, we need to have a defacing machines, right, to do all this process. Then go to this auto inspection. So there's very smooth. If not, even you do that, I saw some manufacturers after the molding, they all put in the bag, the basket bag, So all the product is warping, uneven. So how you machine to go into auto inspection machines in the sheet of glass there, how they're going to inspect? They show all the is a reject because of warping, right? They cannot take the precision dimensions. That's why in the process, automations, right? Every single process from starting from these missings, right? We need to control all the thinness, all the weight, all the sizes, right? Then we come to the molding with the precision toolings, right? Then with the dispatching machine, with the handlings, then all the product put in the so-called basket containers. Then up to go to this auto inspection machine. So every pieces that can be inspected perfectly. It's very important. That's why the top management need to be involved to manage every single process. It's not only one section only. This is my experience. I also pay a lot of effort on this.
I mean, you are a promoter of making the rubber industry more automated, right? So that
this
you
is true.
have,
You see there, Mr. Peram, I'm saying there, 10, 20 years ago, we are facing the challenge from China, the cheaper labors, lower cost of labors, right? But in the future, we are get challenged from China is the low cost of automations. If we are not ready to move forward, then we will be out from the market.
Right. It's very important. So it's very important. And we know the benefits of the automation, and so to invest in automation, you need the money. So how to get the money, where to get money, and it's a not small amount. It needs significant money to invest in automation. So how you managed it, or do you have a support from any banks are supporting automation projects, or the government have any subsidies or any grants for the SMEs, particularly companies, SMEs can source from these grants? How you managed it? What are the suggestions for other manufacturers?
Okay. I'm saying that invest in this automation, definitely that is very costly, and then will affect the company cash flow as well. Especially for SME, they don't have enough capitals, to move forward these automations or IR 4.0. I'm saying that we are the Malaysians. We are very lucky that our Malaysian government is ready to support our Malaysian manufacturers to move forward to IR 4.0 or automation, digitalizations or IoTs and so on. So the government's agencies like MINDA, SME Corps, Mali, Malaysian Labour Council, they provide a lot of incentive or grant or matching grant to helping the industry to transform their productions from the traditional to advanced technology, right? So let's say I'm saying we are lucky that for my company also we are applies the so-called the IR 4.0 grant from MIDA, and I also apply this matching grant from Malaysian Labour Councils. They help us a lot. At least we don't facing so-called cash flow issue to affect our running our business, right? This is help a lot. So we are really thankful our government agency. They're ready to support us on this. That's why for my company to wish to move forward to invest so much of the automation machine or semi-auto machines.
So it's good that MIDA means Malaysian Industrial Development Authority. Is it correct? Yeah, MIDA. Yeah.
Malaysian Industry Development Authorities.
Yeah, MIDA. Yeah. So the Malaysian, all the rubber product manufacturers should take assistance from MIDA or MRC or
MRC mostly MRC. We paying the export cess, the collect cess from our export, right? Meanwhile, they also return to industry to helping us
Yeah, I think that so all the manufacturers.
Very good policy
So you should not too much worry about investing, because there are the grants available, so that the companies can take help from these organizations like MRC or MIDA to invest in the automation, and it's good for them to the long term, right? For the companies to invest.
Yes, actually, this is very good for our industry as well. Move forward with the new technology. That's why I mentioned that we are not like this. Move forward. In the future, we have a big challenge with China with the low cost of automation. So we must be get ladies We must be make our product is more competitive, and then we can be to challenge with the others competitors
So what advice you want to give it to the people still don't want to change?
That's why I'm saying that there is a warning signs there. Last time we are facing low cost labor from China. In the future, we are facing the low cost automations from China. As we know that in China is the world factory. From there, they can be invest in the full production line with the full automations, with the full IR4, so it's become more competitive, right? So from there, we also need to follow the trend, the new eras, we move forward in this technology, because the automations or IR4 is not the option now. This is a default. We must move forward, because if not, then we are already behind. Then we become as a sunset industry, right? So we must be move forward. So our industry is not really is a sunset industry, right? We always is the last one, because a lot of industries products or any consumer product, they still need the rubber parts. The thing is that how we are going to catch up this market to make our product is with a good quality is more competitive, right?
Yeah.
So I may say that this is the must. It's a default. It's not an option, right?
This is the way to go forward. Yeah, automation.
Move forward.
So interesting. Yeah, I think that's valid, suggestion for them to, if they're still thinking, oh, it's a lot of investment there, so you have solutions, you have financial opportunities that they're getting help from the MRC or MIDA and start implementing. I think to be competitive in the global market, you are not, when you do the business, you're not just doing the business for Malaysia only, right? You just talk about some of the low cost or low cost automation as well. In the past, we talk about low cost of labor, but it's not only about labor now. Low cost automation, it makes us more competitive. So
you see, just now I'm saying that we are lucky that the government will helping, we give us an incentive or matching grant, So therefore, our investment for the machine, the return is very short periods, right? Because they already help us almost a half of the cost of investments. We compare with we invest in the machine. Normally, we take about 5 to 8 years for the investment of the return, right? ROI, right? Actually, from there, for my experience, I invest this auto inspections machines. Actually, it's very worth it, because the return of ROI is between 2 years, right? So after that, we are keep enjoying. There is extra income, and then I also can be get ladies to get the bulk orders, and then also the customer also will be happy that, right? I got an experience on that. Got one overseas customers. They come to visit about 8 rubber manufacturers. At the end, they stop at my factories, right? Because they saw that I'm totally different with others because I with all the advanced technology with IR 4.0, however, we can collect all the big data and then the real-time data as well. So they're very happy with us. So immediately, they give us the order. I'm quite shocked. Before that, never happened. Because normally they visit about few manufacturers and then they're going to make the evaluation. Then only they decide, right? So after this, immediately they come to us. So this is the advantage, I'm saying that we must get ready, right? So if we are not ready, we are very behind. So maybe we lost the opportunity. I'm saying that.
Yeah. See, I think we put a right point that it's not only your benefits of financial benefits or thing, but customer confidence, your client confidence on you, because you have a better quality control. They don't need to worry about any rejects and the poor quality coming to their their facility. So immediately, I think the relationship between the client and factory very much improved by having automation in the factory, right? So
yeah, it's true. Definitely, it means I more trust to the machine compared to human, right? Because human, you cannot control the emotion. Today maybe the mood is good, then after maybe the mood change, right? So you don't know what happened with that, right? I don't want to be like those days become a firefighter. Every day is going to solve the problem. After invest this latest technology, that's why I got a lot of time to contribute the CSR job, we say that.
Yeah. I mean that's why it's stress-free, because you have less non-compliance issues, right? And more better collaborations with the customers, because they have no issues to complain about. They're only talking about more orders, more volumes. So
that's right. It is what we want. We don't want to listen to phone call every day. Say, hey, yo, your product got problem, please come, send your man come to something. So we are happy to be our customer. Hey, yo, come, we have a dinner or whatever. So
I mean,
we can build out more good relation with the customer, more confidence. And then they buy the product from us. They don't need to be headaches worry about our quality. Say that.
And I think the whole environment, like a positive mood between customers, owners, and even employees. Everybody in the positive mood, because there is less issues on product wise, process wise, and you get your money in time because you deliver quality products, to the customers. So it's all in the joyful mood because you don't need to worry things by having the automation. Not everything can be automized, of course, but if you have any fatigue jobs, which makes the people upset or lose eyesight issue, the way you mentioned, all these issues, this can be eliminated and have a productive in terms of operations, and eventually money and happiness. And I think they both come together, money and happiness. So okay, finally, I will ask you this. What is the vision for the Cooltech and Associate First Rubber in next 10 years? You say SME. I don't think you are any more SME. Do you have a kind of
vision? Our vision to be leading players both locally and internationally for our core business, and with our aggressive team, especially my young engineers. Right? And say our slogan then, our rubber product always is empowering the innovations. Right? The innovation is very important. We need to move forward.
Yeah. So you want to be more innovative and more profitable, okay, and larger in capacity too, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And supplying to the global market, so that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
Mr. Yeaw, I really enjoyed this conversation. Any additional points you want to add before we wrap it up? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting to this casual talk lah, and say that to sharing experience that. Meanwhile, hopefully our rubber industry players can be moved forward lah. Really, the automate or IR 4.0 is really the so-called it's not optional. That's a default.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Balang.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yeaw. It's a really, very useful and informative conversation between, you and me. And I think all the listeners, particularly from the molded rubber parts manufacturers, you give them a lot of ideas how to improve, how to save their cost, at the same time run the business happily. I think this is what is the run the business happily, stress-free. Okay, I think this is what we should use, stress-free running operations. Yeah, so thank you very much. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, thank you all. That's the end of the conversation on automation of rubber molded parts manufacturing with Mr. K.K. Yeaw, Managing Director of the Cooltech Industries. I really hope that you find some useful insights from Mr. Yeaw, how he has implemented automation in his own factory. Thank you all for joining this session today. You can always watch this session or past episodes on YouTube at the TechnoBiz channel. Feel free to check it out. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you all for joining this session today.